welcome to Accidental Centaurs, Lair of the Insectars, page 14, Speed Draw. I'm John Lotshaw, the cartoonist, and this is what we're going to start with, and this is where we're going to end up. So let's get started. First, we'll start with inking. The software that I'm using is Clip Studio Pro. This is a Japanese program. It's made by Celsius and distributed here in the United States by Smith Micro. And I'm using it because the brush engine in it is really nice, the pen engine. And right now I'm just going over the pencil artwork. The artwork is originally drawn in pencil and is originally on Bristol board. And you'll notice that here that I'm just quickly going, well, very quickly, this is sped up quite a bit. You notice that I'm not going to draw the airplane. Because the airplane is done as a vector object and will be imported in from another page. We'll do that in the coloring step. Also, you'll notice I'm not coloring in the irises or the pupils. Again, that's done later in the coloring stage in order to get a specific effect, and we'll go over that in a minute. Each element is on a separate layer. There's background, there's character, and then there's each character is on a separate layer. This is in order to separate them out to make coloring easier. And one panel had already been done in a live draw on Channel Tachyon. Next, we move into coloring. This is a little more time-consuming stage. First thing I'm going to do is load up the page I exported out, and then I'll load up another page. That was page 13, and that's in order to get the colors for the backdrop for the sand dunes. And I'm just going through and doing all the sand dunes. They all have a gradient on them as well as a texture, and then there's another color in there for the for the shadowing, and that's what I'm just filling in here very quickly, just filling that in. Next step is to go and grab the sky. Accidental Centaurs, the world has a kind of a magenta sky in order to highlight that it's an alien world, and so now I'm just placing those and stretching them out so there's different levels of gradient in there, and just quickly fixing. Now I'm moving the eyes. First lay down the backgrounds and then the irises and the pupils, so that and I do that at this stage so that I don't have a black outline around very small pupils. Now this is probably not the most efficient way to color. This is just the way that I know how to do it, and right now I'm trying to find a leak in my fill. And you can see kind of flashes there when it goes full screen. That means that I've got a leak. Now I'm coloring the ring. I'm putting a texture on it in order to give it a metallic sheen. Doing that in Photoshop because it's just so much easier in Photoshop to do that. And then copying that same texture and using it on the other panels where the ring appears. And that's basically it. I mean, the coloring is not that complex on this page. Going back and putting the rocks in. Each one has a separate layer, so there's a separate gradient for it. And then now I'm grabbing the airplane. This is the airplane, and I'm just copying it, pasting it, putting it in place, getting it the right size, putting it in the right position in space, and then eventually tweaking it and getting it in place. And there's now we're coloring in Alex. Again, just basically doing an outline and then a flood fill. Nothing really complex to it. It's just tedious. It's just tedious. And the reason why I have to do this is because I'm really bad about when I ink, I don't connect all my lines, and so flood filling usually is not an option. Although I've been getting better about it, I really have been. I just love Lenny's nightcap. I just think it's just so silly. A genie having a nightcap like something out of Night Before Christmas. So there we go. Now we're just finishing these up, and then each one's got to be different, so you got to fill that in. The Cintiq makes this so much easier. I used to have to do this with a mouse, and that was really tedious. And the Cintiq just makes this so much faster, so much easier. I love the Cintiq. I really do. What a wonderful idea Cintiq is. And now we're almost finished. We're just about finished. Getting Lenny here. There's one more Lenny to do after this. Lenny's the easiest one to do because he's all one color. So just one big blob of color and splash, he's done. And then we get the last one here for Lenny. Get him colored in. And had a little trouble there with the flood fill. And then here's the finished piece. Ta-da! Isn't that wonderful? Hope you enjoyed that. Come back for more later. I hope you enjoyed this speed draw. Enjoyed doing it for you. If you like the show, why not take a second and click on the subscribe button there just below. There's more great content coming from Channel Tachyon, and subscribing, make sure you don't miss a moment of it. And don't forget to join us for the Nightly Draw Live, which is streamed weeknights here on YouTube at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. UTC. Just use the URL bit.ly/nightlydraw to join in. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep drawing.